I hope that you had a great day. Right, so blockchain. You are muted. Please alt. Okay. Can you all hear me? Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. Give me a love if you can hear me. Okay, excellent. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you, George. All right, so
George is from the army. He's look like binoculars.
Yeah, so we a couple of months ago, I started reading up on the blockchain, because the mining and the making of money, obviously that's what got us into Lifestyle Galaxy and what got us excited. But when I started reading about what the blockchain actually can do, and the different applications that there is, not just for Bitcoin, but also for the rest of the cryptocurrencies that's available out there, I really started reading up on it, and I became excited. So excited that that actually the Bitcoin price is not having an influence on me at all, because it's about the technology. It's about the blockchain technology. And once that is exploding, guys, then we're not going to only make money, but we're going to own pieces of real estate on the blockchain. And that is what makes me excited, very, very excited. So I'm going to share a couple of things with you about the things that I've been reading about blockchain, etc. And it's not going to be a repeat of what you heard. Those of us that goes to the weekly presentations, we are familiar, and we can actually word for word say that video about how the mining works, etc. So this is just a little bit of a different take on what the blockchain is. So I hope that you find it interesting, and it's just a couple of thoughts that I want to share with you on the blockchain. Okay, so we're all familiar with probably with this picture, that the blockchain is one massive global server around the world, which is decentralized, which has computers linked to the chain all over the world. Private people like you and I, warehouses like Lifestyle Galaxy, massive warehouses, mining farms in China, etc., etc. So you're familiar with how this works and how the mining actually works through the verification of transactions. So what is a block? Okay, so a block is a container that has a data structure to it, right? It contains hundreds of transactions. So specifically on the Bitcoin blockchain, one block carries 500 transactions per block, right? So for a block to join the main blockchain, it must be given a valid hash, right? So mining provides that hash and enables the block then to stay on the blockchain and to be permanently linked to the blockchain. And ladies and gentlemen, I read this. It just increased my my understanding of, not really my understanding of mining, but how important mining actually is. It's not just the verification; it actually keeps that block permanently onto the blockchain. Okay, so when the block is filled up, it joins the permanent record, and linked together then with other blocks to form the blockchain. So each block is basically responsible to hold the data of the transactions that it processed. So then I thought, you know what, we know how the mining works and so on, but what problems does the blockchain actually solve? Okay, so I've listed a couple of problems, and the first one is security problems. Okay, so the blockchain is basically unhackable, right? Not basically, it is unhackable. So when you hear that Bitcoin has been hacked, it is not the blockchain that has been hacked, it's wallets that actually have been, that has been hacked, all right? The second problem that blockchain solves is that it speeds up transactions. So how it basically works is there's hundreds of different banks all over the world, and each bank has its own ledger, okay? The banks need to reconcile each and every transaction. Can you imagine how many people there's needed for that? Can you imagine how many fees are being charged for interbank transactions? It's just crazy. And then the amount of time that it actually takes to reconcile each transaction. I mean, for our company wanted to get money from Zimbabwe, and it actually took basically a month for that money to be released from the Reserve Bank in Zimbabwe to come to our bank account. Okay, it's the fees is incredible. It costs a whole lot to send the money cross border. But with blockchain, there's only one ledger for everyone at the same time. Everyone in the world. So there's only one ledger to reconcile, not millions of ledgers. So what does that mean? That means there's a decrease in fees, okay? And because it's only one ledger that needs to be updated, it reduces the time for the transaction to take place. Right. You can see that I get very, very excited. Okay, you can send money anywhere. You can send money across borders. And again, that money can't be stolen. If it's on the blockchain, it's only through wallets that it can be stolen. So it's very important for you to have a wallet that is secured and to have your two-factor authenticated and switched on for that not to happen. Okay. Then another very interesting thing is that social media. Okay, so that's one of the problems that blockchain can solve. So social media there's lots of people that submits photos, information gets put onto social media and so on, and there's a drive towards people who wants to be compensated for the work that they do on different social media platforms. That's LinkedIn. So can you just think about how much proprietary work has been submitted to LinkedIn, articles that people write, etc., and they need to be compensated for the work that they've done, right? That's Instagram. We talk about photos, Facebook, Twitter, etc. So there's a move towards in-app currencies, which will influence how users start to consume content socially, where users can start to pay for content socially, and they so the social media of Facebook, etc., will then create an app where you can actually trade with the different currencies that they use. Then another problem that blockchain can solve is fake news. So can you imagine? So I see that there's Seamus says, I heard a great term recently, Web 2.0 is the publishing house of the internet. With the blockchain, we're moving into Web 3.0, which is the data bank of the internet. Yes, Seamus, thank you very much for that. So, fake news. Can you imagine that all news that's being submitted goes onto the blockchain, all right? And it gets verified by the crowd, all right? No more fake news, which absolutely influences the way that economies gets driven, the way that companies makes decisions, the way that you and I make decisions. there will be none of that. Okay, so the crowd will verify if this news is actually fake or not, and it can happen in an instant because of the blockchain. That in turn generates trust in the news. And the third one is that news cannot be run by the government. Okay, which is I think is an awesome thing. Then in terms of copyright, okay, say for photography, you I don't know who of you are photographers, but I mean we all know and probably have stolen people's photos off the internet and used it for our own use. I mean, Michelle just asked, did they ask your permission to use your photo on the Lifestyle Galaxy advertisements? No, they haven't. Okay, so with copyright and photography that's on the blockchain, the owner authenticates themselves. Michelle, you can upload your image. Your image is then certified, and your images are then tracked online all the time through the blockchain. Okay, all right. Okay. So, what are the benefits? What are the benefits of blockchain? No fabrication can take place, so it's totally transparent. There's no need for an intermediary. It's totally peer-to-peer. All right. It's decentralized. That we know already. It's one shared ledger worldwide that gets updated immediately. It keeps your information anonymous. It's hack-proof. It creates trust because it's the crowd. It's the wisdom of the crowd that actually verifies it. So the crowd, so there's trust there. Security. Data cannot be changed on the blockchain. All right. It saves you money because there's one ledger, one payment, one fee that can be that's requested, not fees for my bank and your bank, etc., etc. There's no central authority. They cannot mess with the money. Right? Think about South Africa with the state capturing. That if our money, if SARS, etc., was on the blockchain, they would not have been able to steal the billions of rands. Okay. More benefits to these benefits to blockchain. All right. Blockchain benefits these industries in the following ways: digital identities. Civic key belongs to Vinnie, who's one of the Vinnie Lingham. He's one of the dragons for the TV series. So he started Civic key, and Civic key is actually on the blockchain. You can create your own digital private identity on the blockchain with Civic key, right? Online voting. Can you imagine when we get the chance to vote on the blockchain, okay, for our party, and no one can throw away the ballots, no one can influence it, no one can write on it. It is 100% secure. Okay. The medical field, right? Can you imagine that when a baby is born, their medical data is placed onto the blockchain? It's private, it's secure, right? As the child grows up and they go to the doctors, they get their injections, everything like that. Everything is stored on the blockchain. So when the baby is 40 and she or he goes to the doctor and they ask, give me your medical history, right? You don't spend 80% of your time with the doctor to give them your medical history and they write it down. You can actually spend 100% of your time with the doctor to get diagnosed, which will make a huge difference in the world, okay? Insurance, smart contracts that comes in, right? We will not be needing insurance houses. The owner or the person who wants the insurance and the person who provides the insurance can speak directly to one another, agree on the terms and conditions, and when those terms and conditions are honored, then the insurance, the money will start flowing through that. So there is a number of applications where insurance houses, I don't know, they say insurance houses is not going to make a lot of money in the future. All right. Not sure if there's any insurance brokers on this call, but if you are on this call, then good for you, because you are already looking at other ways of making money, which is great. Okay, so music. Piracy runs rife. Spotify actually uses the blockchain to ensure that they have a payment structure for artists, so that when you download the music, that the artist actually gets compensated what they need. And I mean, if music or what they are worth. So if music is going that way, can you imagine movies being placed onto the blockchain? All right? So you can't pirate it anymore. You have to pay for it. And there's no other way that you can watch it except through the blockchain. Then rentals, properties, real estate agents, and agreements. It's only going to be peer-to-peer. No third, fourth, and fifth parties. Why? Why do we need attorneys? It's because people cannot be trusted. All right? But with the blockchain, with the peer-to-peer smart contracts, because the system is trusted, the miners verifies the information. The system creates the trust between you and me. Okay. Right. Okay. So here you can see during the Blockchain Audio conference, I thought this was a very nice visual to give you an idea of what can happen and what is out there with the blockchain. Right. So, firstly, digital currency. Right. There's e-commerce, global payments can take place, peer-to-peer lending, remittance, microfinancing can take place through digital currencies. Okay. Record keeping, healthcare, title records, ownership. I sell my car to you, all right? You, that ownership record is on the blockchain. There can be no dispute that you own the car. Voting, intellectual property. People that has patents that they put onto the blockchain. All right. Securities, equity, private markets, debt, crowdfunding can take place, and derivatives as well. And then through smart contracts, digital rights, wages, escrow, etc. So people can. Can you imagine when you start paying your people through and their wages through the blockchain? Okay. All right. So there's different blockchains that can do different things. So, for instance, the Bitcoin blockchain is a payment system. Okay. The Ethereum blockchain is actually very, very interesting in the sense that you can create different apps, and because it's open source, developers can be invited onto the Ethereum blockchain to start building apps, right? And they can be compensated for the work that they've done on the Ethereum blockchain. And this whole open source idea that anyone can create and anyone can come in and bring their ideas. Again, this whole idea of the wisdom of the crowd coming together and just creating a better life for everyone. Everyone in Africa, people in India that's just super poor, that hasn't even got access to bank accounts. This makes it possible. Now there's over 50 blockchain real world user cases that's available at the moment. So if you look at the top left, you'll see Essential develops the world's first blockchain solution to manage international logistics. Okay, that's for the government. Then identification, voter registration, mobile payments. Ripple is with that. So that's a different blockchain. Then for insurance, a smart contract-based blockchain is being used by insurer AIG as a means of saving costs and increasing transparency. Okay. Then there's a blockchain for endangered species protection. All right. Carbon offsets, enterprise, real estate, healthcare, supply chains, energy, and interestingly enough, if you look at the bottom right, there's blockchain technology for fishing. It provides a transparent record of where fish was caught as a means of ensuring that it was legally landed. For those of you who want this specific image, I will gladly send it to you. I think it's an amazing show of the industries that the blockchain is starting to disrupt. You see the music, enterprise, railway, energy, etc., etc. Right, ladies and gentlemen, this brings us just to the end of the short presentation on the blockchain. Some of the information and various internet sites of which I can send you the links. Now I see that there's a couple of questions that came through. Okay, yes, please.
Okay, they're more statements. They're more statements. Wow, that was brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Magriet, thank you so much. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just take this section of Magriet's that she's done, and I'm going to just make that short and sweet. So you guys are going to get these. Then I'll ask Magriet to send me all the slides individually so that we can attach it and make sure that it's very clear on the recording when I put them through on the recording. And yes, so what I'm going to ask you to do is Magriet's not going to send you the individual slides, because what's going to happen is you're going to now start reinterpreting this yourself as you go along. So what we're going to be doing is that if you want to share this information, you send the video link of this, that where Magriet has taken the information and shared the information along. I'm going to ask you guys not to now go and reinterpret, because what happens, it's the whole Telegraph story where I say something, you say something, you say something, and it ends up being totally wrong. I think Nas Boerter is going to be extremely excited with this, Magriet, especially after his pictures were stolen. 2 of his pictures were stolen and put on to a what would you say,
fake news.
100% fake news. Shocking. And in our investigation to help him to get it off, it's happening to so many South African sports fanatics at the moment, sports stars, should I say, not fanatics. This person has done a beautiful blog and it's got beautiful write-ups about South African sports heroes, stars, whatever you want to call them. And they've literally gone and started putting their photographs all up to try and say so-and-so's doing this, so-and-so's doing this, so-and-so's doing this. So when you log on to it, you go to this beautiful blog, and then through the blog you get scammed with a Bitcoin scamming thing, which is terrible. So awesome. Anybody want to ask Magriet a question? Absolutely, Fonny. Okay, so guys, why we're doing this is because if you want to realize is that we're selling the wrong thing. Okay, we're selling people cryptocurrencies, and if we go into the market of selling cryptocurrencies, we're going to be faced with people who are going to be disappointed because of the price and everything that is going on with the Bitcoin price. But if you're speaking to them about blockchain and what blockchain is, and that we're actually helping them buy into the blockchain, then with regards to that, we have a solid ground that we're helping people get into blockchain, and the payment system is whichever they're choosing, either the Bitcoin or the Ethereum. And of course, where Lifestyle Galaxy is going now with Galaxia and expanding into Monero and the multi-mining, it makes sense for all of us to start seeing how we can expand our portfolio into at least 50% Bitcoin, 50% in the what you call it, the multi-mining space. So I'm going to say to everybody to start saving up, because Magriet said something extremely powerful, which I don't know if we all actually got. She spoke about Ethereum having the opportunity where they're encouraging, if you can go back to that slide for me, Magriet, where they're encouraging people the holes with regards to the apps. Go back to digital, it's just something benefits of blockchain. So I think it was one of the benefits where they could get the apps. There we go, in-app social media, in-app currencies, where people can actually, you spoke about definitely with regards to Ethereum, and the people can actually design apps. Okay, now why do you think esports is going to be so powerful, and where do you think David Martin and them are starting to say when we play esports, they're going to pay us out in MHS? MHS is your GPUs, which is part of the Ethereum run and the Ethereum stuff that goes from there. So extremely powerful, where Lifestyle Galaxy is ahead of everybody else with regards to getting into blockchain. So if a person's sitting on the fence, initially we put people into Bitcoin, but because of where Lifestyle Galaxy is going and coming out of Langkawi, we're going to rather say to people, look, why don't you get into Ethereum first and then go backwards into Bitcoin, whereas we used to have it the other way around, only because Lifestyle Galaxy is now making their own S3s now, okay, and the GPUs, and then people can go into but if people have got sufficient money, like if they've got $5,000, I would say 2,500 Bitcoin, 2,500 Ethereum to build your portfolio in both spaces, multi-mining as well as Bitcoin. That is what I would recommend and make a suggestion. If they've got $10,000, then you could go 70-30, 70% into multi-mining, 30% into the Bitcoin side, or it all depends on what a person's favoring on the two. So awesome, Magriet. I just want to applaud you and say thank you very much. That was phenomenally done. So anybody else want to type in a question? No statements, no added information, just a question with regards to clarification, or are we all happy with that?
Shamesh just asked me what excites me the most about blockchain. Well, my take on that is, what is blockchain going to solve for me? And I get very excited about the medical the medical problems that the blockchain would be able to solve. Just the simple problem of me not having to sit 80% and spend actually 80% of my money just by telling the doctor my medical history. That alone excites me tremendously.
I find that so interesting. So and for me, it's the apps, the apps where the esports, the other side of it is as well. The other thing that excited me, if you go back to that massive, beautiful slide that you had on just now with all the different benefits, again, is the amazing amount of things that are already on the blockchain. Like, for example, tagging fish. You were talking about tagging fish. There's so much already on here that is just, I mean, just absolutely phenomenal about the whole whole system. So I'm just loving it, and yeah, yeah. Sorry to hear that, Seamus. How is she doing? I hope she's doing all right. So guys, I hope you actually see where blockchain is here to stay. If blockchain is here to stay, cryptocurrencies are here to stay. And this is what we need to, oh my gosh, Shane, poor little thing. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. So that is the most important thing for us to all realize, that blockchain is here to stay because of what it does, which means that, of course, the cryptocurrencies are here to stay. Stay away from ICOs, which is initial coin offerings, which means that somebody wants to design a blockchain. They want to design a coin, so they're asking you to put money into it, okay, before you actually, even the blockchain exists. And that is why they want to ban ICOs, which I 100% agree in, those initial coin offerings. Go into blockchains that are up and running and steady right now, which is just absolutely amazing. So, Magriet, thank you. High five.
Thanks, Michelle. Just the last one. If you just look at the diamonds, so the De Beers Group in South Africa is using blockchain to track the importation and sale of diamonds. Can you imagine what influence that will have on the blood diamonds in Africa?
Wow, absolutely amazing.
And slavery and kids.
It's just
children.
Phenomenal. Yes,
not being used anymore.
It's amazing, Magriet. It's absolutely amazing how and guys, as Andrew would say, it's just beginning. We're just at the beginning. So I really want you guys to get so fired up. I'll have this to you all before you go to bed tonight. And really, honestly, Magriet, thank you so much. And when you have more updated information and you feel you want to add to this, like we'll call this part 1, then just let us know when you uncover more exciting things that fire up. Then we'll put you back on again and do part 2, part 3. We just build our own portfolio of what we can do and how the world uses, the real world uses blockchain. I love it, love it, love it. Exciting stuff. Everybody happy?
Thank you.
Yes, George.
Can you hear me now? I just want to add, Michelle, what I don't see here now is the Australians already got all their dairy cows is also on a blockchain.
Wow.
So if they want to sell a dairy cow, they don't have to take this cow on a lorry, drive to an auction center, pay the auction center, pay the auctioneer. They don't have to do it anymore. They put it on the blockchain. Another farmer that wants a cow goes onto the blockchain, looks at the qualities, buys directly from the farmer, goes there and buys it from him, and it's a peer-to-peer payment. That's also what they did. I don't see it here yet, but it must be somewhere as well.
It must be like you've got your land registry, and then you've got there was something about animals, so it must fit under that one. That is absolutely phenomenal. And Seamus, you see, they've got fine art there as well on the blockchain, so you can put your art, your art in that under the blockchain. That is absolutely amazing, really amazing, awesome. Anybody else want to ask a question? I did indeed. You're such a gentleman.
Michelle?
Yes.
Michelle?
Yes?
Hi, sorry, I'm speaking from South everyone. I'm so sad I'm missing all these wonderful opportunities in South Africa, but so happy to be listening to all the exciting developments from here. Just to share with you that Germany has just also released an opportunity for people to buy energy through the blockchain, and they're bidding with the auction per hour. So it's unbelievable how energy is actually released to Germany instead of going through like Eskom, where they're paying a monthly fee to Eskom. They're actually currently bidding online through the blockchain to actually get light in their home.
Fantastic.
So it's unbelievable what's going on here, what's going on in Europe. And I think Lifestyle Galaxy on the road that it's at, I'm a bit behind because I was in a country where I had no connection with internet for 40 days. Just unbelievable what's happening, and there's so much opportunity for lifestyle here in Europe as well. Lifestyle Galaxy, so
exciting. So
I'm going to call you privately by the people, but thanks. And Magriet, thank you for sharing such valuable information with us.
Powerful.
And Michelle, thank you for keeping yourself on the pulse, us on the pulse all the time. Really wonderful.
Awesome.
Bless you.
Always
take care then. Have a wonderful week, everyone.
We miss
thank
you. Hurry up and come back.
Michelle.
And you're in the middle of the screen. You can see energy right there. So that's just absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah, great. It's awesome. Thanks.
You're right.
Yes, everyone.
You're right, Juanita. People have no clue how blockchain is going to help them make money. They have zero clue of this concept, and that is why we need to, as responsible Lifestyle Galaxy, what do they call us now? Ambassadors, if you want to call us that. We really need to make sure that as we're going through and sharing this with people, we need to have the transition away from cryptos. And I'm one of those first ones that started with cryptos because I didn't understand blockchain. But as we've been evolving and learning more about blockchain, it's all about the blockchain and why it's so important to build your gigahash, because you're building your gigahash or your megahash. You're building your blockchain ownership, and as Magriet said, that is what they call part of the real estate on the internet, is owning that part of the stuff. Why do you think when you look at people like Tony de Gouveia has got over 1 million gigahash built up? Okay, so people who are narrow-minded and just want to get into this with $500 and mine are also missing out on what strategy 2 is all about, because strategy 2 is all about how we can grow and take more market share on the blockchain. The more market share that we've got on the blockchain as a company, okay, the more of this that we have, the more we helping solve world problems, okay, and the more money we're going to be making from that. So it's not just me buying my machines. I'm actually contributing to actually making the world a better place, which is that not Lifestyle Galaxy's slogan, making the world a better place. And utilizing the $150 or the strategy 2, the commission structure, to build your own portfolio, to grow yourself in this place, is just an amazing concept that Lifestyle Galaxy's executive team has come up with. And I am extremely proud, to more so than ever, to actually be part of where we're going as a company. So again, Magriet, thank you very, very much. I'm so excited. I can't wait to listen to this again. So is everybody happy? Looks like it. I agree, Juanita. So thank you so much. So yeah, well, let's now wrap it up for this evening. We've got 7 minutes to go. So I just want to say thank you very, very much. And I will chat to you guys a little bit later for the guys that are going for 20 and 60. But Magriet, also, because of your belief in not just the industry or the profession of Lifestyle Galaxy, I just want to say your belief in what we're doing, which is making the world a better place, with regards to your belief in blockchain, has catapulted you to actually not be scared to share with these people. And that is why your belief system is, and that is why you're just closing people one after another, because you're talking blockchain. So thank you for that. You've taught me something very powerful today, so I really appreciate it. Okay, good night, everybody, and we will send you this recording before you go to bed, or before I go to bed, which will be after you go to bed. Cheers, guys.